Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5 at Saratoga on Saturday with graded stakes action. Here's the field for the Saranac. 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. 6 entered for turf. The 7 risk taking is entered main track only. It's a pretty evenly matched group, Mike. Public sector for Chad Brown's the 7-5 morning line favorite, coming off just an absolute perfect trip.
Yeah, got a perfect trip in a race that ultimately may not play out to be that good, Dan, the Hall of Fame. That was certainly the right spot for him. He's a nice horse, been good right from the start, always shows up and runs. I guess he's the horse to beat.
The key is whether he can get that trip again. As we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, the pace might be a little bit slower this time around. Timeform US believes it could favor horses on or near the early lead. And the 4 Never Surprised, who showed speed in winning the Central Park Stakes. His final start as a 2-year-old, he was kind of rated last time out in the Kitten's Joy. He ran okay. I think he's more effective doing what Timeform US thinks he's going to do, and that's getting to the front. But he also has to deal with about an 8-month layoff.
Yeah, I guess the one thing with this trainer, with Todd Pletcher, you don't worry about layoffs too much. They got to go with this horse. I don't know what the idea was last time. He wasn't the only one in that race who looked like he had speed going in and decided not to use it in there. I think it kind of screwed that race up a little bit. He's obviously better than that, Dan. I mean, both of his races as a 2-year-old, he ran 2 figures that make him faster than the favorite in here.
The only time Public Sector ran off the board was in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Let's watch his perfect trip win in the Hall of Fame earlier in the meet. He saved ground in the pocket. Flavian Pratt is saying, maybe a hole will open up for me. Hey, there's a big one down towards the inside, and Public Sector shoots his way on through, and he goes on to a solid score. 88 Beyer speed figure for Public Sector, and I'm sure Rad Ortiz is going to be thinking maybe he can try to get that spot again in behind the 4.
Yeah, certainly. He's got a great post. Shouldn't really lose any ground in here. Can sit right up close like he did last time. And maybe things will work out exactly the same, Dan. It's not like he faces a much stronger field. I mean, I don't think the Hall of Fame field was good. There are probably a couple better horses in here, but still, he fits right in here. He's probably the horse to beat. Even his race 2 back, I mean, he probably got unlucky not to win the Manila, where he was too far away from a walking pace. They didn't make that mistake last time. He's the horse to beat that. I just don't think he, has to win this race at a short price.
Like the King's a graded stakes winner over Synthetic. He won one of the Derby preps at Turfway. The Jeff Ruby Stakes, a grade 3, coming from way off of the pace. Nice ride in the race we'll show you right now. The Kent, a grade 3 race, very soft turf. Chris Landeros saw there was no speed in the race. He went 1:16-1. He did come off the rail turning for home. Like the King ran well. Yes, this time, who is a consistent underrated horse, is able to get inside of him.
Yeah, he left the rail open. He can't stop this horse at the end of the race. Maybe the soft turf did him in here. Maybe he just didn't like it quite as much, Dan, and it affected him. I don't know. I wanted to like this horse coming into this race. I don't particularly think he's run that well in either of his last 2 turf starts, and it just makes me wonder how good he is.
The one time he did run on firm turf was his maiden win. He won by open lengths, albeit at Belterra. He's Pure Gold is the 3, solid New Jersey bred. Let's watch his most recent start. This is the Irish War Cry Handicap. He's Pure Gold is down towards the inside in this race for trainer Kelly Breen. He's going to move through along the inside. He's going to win his 2nd consecutive race. This one with an 81 Beyer speed figure. The 4th horse is a useful New Jersey bred, would come back to run 2nd and then win with stereo 82 Beyers on dirt. But this is a big hiking class.
It is. I think he's actually run well in all 3 of his starts since Kelly Breen has taken over. He's gotten good trips in those races. He's very game through the stretch. He's a real hard trying kind of horse. I can't say that I love him in here, Dan, but I think he could get a piece of it. I mean, I think he could be a factor at some point in the race.
Never surprised the number 4. Let's watch his one and only prior start as a 3-year-old back in January in the grade 3 Kitten's Joy. And again, he was rated off the pace here. He's coming with a wide run, and he's going to finish 2nd. The winner of this race is Solid Chester's Dream. No star, but solid. Come back to run 3rd in the Palm Beach at Gulf with an 82. 3rd in a state bred stake at Tampa with a 73. The one and only time this horse got loose, Mike, was 2 back in the Central Park, looked very good, earned a good figure, and a similar situation could be coming again.
Yeah, and he beat a pretty good horse that day, too, in Hard Love. I mean, both of his races as a 2-year-old were good, Dan. I mean, and again, he ran 2 figures in those races that make him faster than Public Sector down on the rail. So you know that he has the talent to at least beat that horse and probably everybody else, too. I don't know what to say about his last race. I hate the Kitten's Joy as a race overall. But mostly I just hate the way that everybody wrote it. Again, there was plenty of speed in there. Maybe that's why Irad decided to rate this horse early. He was 1-5 in there, and they took him off the pace. It probably cost him, but it's not like he ran some kind of, super race after that either. So, and there's been a layoff since then. So we'll just see what happens. I think he's very dangerous in here. I don't know how short a price I'd want to take.
Chad Brown has the 5 Founder, and it looks like blinkers have put this horse over the top, as well as racing on Firm Going. Let's watch his stakes debut, the Tail of the Cat at Monmouth. And this horse was last early. He had to swing widest turning into the stretch, and this is a really determined rally to just roll by everybody in the lane. I like this performance a lot from Founder. 81 Beyer speed figure. Perhaps he's coming into his own, but he might have to overcome a moderate pace. He does not have a lot of early zip.
Yeah, I'm worried about how this race is going to set up for him. That being said, I really like both of his turf races, Dan. It's almost a situation where I wish he doesn't have that race that we just watched that make him a stakes winner on the grass. He ran really well in there, but it's his other turf race that I feel like sort of pointed him out as a turf horse. I thought he ran deceptively well that day when Public Sector beat him. We'll see. I guess the win last time hurts his price a little bit, but he can't be the favorite in here. He needs a little bit of help up front, but I think this horse is pretty good.
Trainer Pat McBurney might have a useful horse in the number 6 Mose, who has just really taken a step forward since being allowed to stretch out in distance. Let's watch the hard-spun Colts victory at Monmouth last time out in an allowance race. He got a good spot early, able to save ground towards the inside. There was a little bit of wait time on the turn, but here, these 2 horses on the lead have been battling. He gets to the outside. He does what he has to do in getting up late. It seems like he's improving with every start, and now he gets the acid test.
Yeah, agreed. I like this horse. I think he might be actually pretty good, and he has enough speed, I think, to be forward in this race as well. So I think there are things to really consider about him at a price, and it feels like he almost has to be a price in here. I know the figures don't say it yet. He's going to have to improve to beat this field. I think this horse has some potential.
Top pick time in the Grade 3 Saranac Stakes as Risk Taking the 7 is entered main track only. Mike's going with Founder. You saw him come widest and fastest to win at Monmouth. Maybe the pace will be a little bit quicker than anticipated. He really seems to be coming into his own.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn out to be a turf horse. So we'll see how that all works out for him. I didn't really want Public Sector in here, Dan. I know that he could win. I don't want to bet him. I'll take the other Chad, and I'll try to get Pletcher's horse in there with him. He's supposed to go forward.
I think Public Sector has a very good opportunity to get a similar trip as he did last time out in the Hall of Fame, tucking behind the Pletcher horse and getting the jump on horses like Founder and a couple of others into the stretch. Price, no great shakes, however. 5-4-1-6 for Mike, 1-5-3-6 for me. The Grade 3 Saranac kicks off the late pick 5 at the Spa on Saturday. Good luck.